Hey Buff Mamas, the stir fry is a great quick dinner to make, especially if you've got some stuff already prepped. I try to cut up some onions a little bit. I already had my bell peppers cut up into strips, so all I had to do was just do a few more cuts on them to get them into smaller pieces. And then of course chop up the meat of your choice. But the great thing about a stir fry is that you can do it with anything. You can, whatever vegetable you want, whatever meat you want. If you're going to use bell peppers, you can use bell peppers, onions, kale. With your whether you're going to use like a lean ground beef, a ground turkey, chicken breast, turkey breast. It's very versatile depending on the flavor profile that you want. So we put a little bit of olive oil in there. Take some of my onions that I had already cut up. Dump some of those in. That's good. All right. And then I add the bell peppers. Lots of bell peppers there. And we're going to let this cook just for a few minutes. Cook it down to where it's a little bit softer. Let's grab my spoon. So this cooks for a few minutes. Kind of stirring a little bit. All right, so I've let this cook down a little bit. Now I'm going to add the chicken. And this is about 2.5 pounds of chicken. I like to cook a lot because then I only have to cook once and I can eat, well, I mean, my family's going to eat tonight. And then, of course, we can either do leftovers. We'll probably do leftovers one night, which will be a couple of different meals together. And I'll probably even have a little bit myself, maybe tomorrow or the next day before this is gone. I love the idea of cooking once and eating 2 or 3 meals out of it. So sometimes I get a little bit excited. My poor skillet here is a little bit over full. So I'm going to have to stir very carefully. This is about the equivalent of 1 onion, about 4 bell peppers, I'd say, and 2.5 pounds of chicken. And I haven't even added the kale yet. So I'm going to let this cook for a couple minutes. Again, stirring so it doesn't get burned, and so it cooks evenly because I overfilled my skillet. Okay, so the chicken is starting to cook down a little bit, and the peppers and the onions are getting softer. So I'm going to start adding my spices. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. I like this pink Himalayan sea salt. And then the rest of it is really dependent on what flavors you're in the mood for. Garlic is always good. Garlic's good whether you're craving, a Mexican flavor or an Italian flavor, or even, Indian. If you're in the mood for an Indian flavor, you could add some turmeric, curry. If you're in the mood for Italian, I just use a plain Italian seasoning mix and some oregano. I also have some basil. Tonight, I'm just going to go with plain cumin and chili powder for a Mexican flair. Take the lid off a little bit here so don't get too crazy. Alright, looks good. And I don't really do amounts. Sometimes I do, a lot of times I don't, just because I just go by, I know how much I like. And since sometimes the amount, I may cook more or less chicken breast, more or less vegetables, changing vegetables, so again, that's going to vary, but just go to taste, you know, whatever you like. Some people like it spicier, some not so much, so you just kind of have to pick. I'm out of paprika too, so I keep forgetting to get that, but that would also be good for to give it a little bit of a Mexican flavor as well. So I'm going to continue to let this cook, but this is really a stir fry. It's really simple. If you've done a menu plan and you maybe spent 30 minutes one evening chopping all your veggies, getting all your meats prepared, you could have 2 or 3 nights of veggies and meats chopped up ahead of time. Not saying you're going to do stir fries 2 or 3 nights a week, but whatever dish that you're having, get all the veggies and the meats for that prepped. So then it's actually only going to take you 20 or 30 minutes depending on the amount and the size of the skillet. If you overstuff your skillet like I did, it's going to take a little bit more to get it cooked more evenly. But anyway, that's just a simple weeknight stir fry. If you've got it mostly prepped, you can have it on the table in 30 to 40 minutes. If you've got it all prepped, just throw it in there and you've got it in 20 to 30 minutes. So it's really easy and tasty. And also you can add, if you want, if you've already got some rice cooked, add that in there, beans, serve it over, some people like to serve it over some, you know, whole grain pasta, things like that. So that's a stir fry. Hope you enjoy.